I'm here, Papa. Okay. So, first of all, shit. Okay, first of all, I want to thank you all for being here and actually listening to all of this shit. Thanks for the support during this week. You know, it didn't bother me one bit, all the insults, all the shit comments and all that stuff. So, but still, you guys being here was absolutely amazing. So thank you for that. Much appreciated. Now, why did I do it? Why did I do it? First of all, I'll start like a little experiment. So basically, I did talk to Forgotten Vampire, Lady Bojo Basic, and Timothy, and a few others that you haven't really seen since basically I talk off stream with them. I got your back. So yes, basically we decided to do a little experiment. You know, just pretty much dress like that, and um, and see how it goes. But there was a little bit of a twist. So basically, I talked to a few older streamers, which are like smaller. Um, and, you know, some of them are actually gay. Some are bisexual. Others are actually like trans, like transition from male to female. So you know, I've talked to them, and they pretty much like told me and showed me like what fucking nasty shit they've got, and it kind of put them down. So yeah, basically it was really bad. Turn that song off first. All right, but yeah, basically it was like getting pretty damn bad with with all the shit and nasty comments that they were getting, and some of them actually had suicidal thoughts. So you know, it was not really nice. You know, like I know this is the internet. I know there are a lot of trolls. I know there are people who would just say the nastiest fucking shit they can think of just because it's the internet and they hide behind a keyboard. Um. So yeah, the shitty part about that was that I had to talk some people out of those suicidal thoughts, and I did manage to do that, which was pretty damn good. And yeah, but basically why I did all of this was because first of all, I wanted to see how would people react. How will people react? What will be their first thing that they say? What were their first words be when they come into the stream? Will they be like shallow minded? Will they actually be negative? Will they be like absolute assholes? Or if they would be just curious and actually ask questions. So all of that, uh let me check again. 66.7% of the comments were actually nice or neutral. So that was a good surprise about that. So it wasn't a money grab. No, it was not a money grab. It never was about the money. Um, it never was. Okay, so some people assumed that it was because like of the money. Some people assumed that it was because of viewers, all that shit. No, it was never of either those things. Also, Magic Sky, welcome, dude. You came just in time for the results. So, um, wasn't an Asba phobic. Sorry. All right, I understand, dude. I know. It's like, but so some people are like absolutely fucking assholes. I'll tell you that, dude. Um. So basically, it was pretty much like to like kind of you know raise awareness, or if you want to like, I don't know, like whatever you want to call it. So basically it was more of an experiment to see how far would people go. There were like some really nasty insults. In other channels, usually like people would ban them. I kept them just so I can see how far people can go with those. Uh, yeah, it was definitely a chance to step in their shoes. He was offended for it. No, he was never offended, dude. Like he was messing around with me. Like basically, Unreal sometimes like pretty much like messes around with me, and sometimes I mess around on his stream, like uh so bad experience. I'm not gonna ask about the experience, by the way, real. So basically, it was it was uh it was more of I also showed like these people, I also showed these people that were having these suicidal thoughts that you can just stay there, stay strong. Just all the people that would just bash the living shit out of you, just put a huge ass fucking smile and be like, what, I don't give a shit. So some of these people actually like it helped them more or less. I've actually got like messages from people that didn't say absolutely anything during the streams, but I have noticed them that they have been watching like for hours actually, like, and not only 1 or 2 days, and they have messaged me like thanking me for what I'm doing. They were like, that's really brave of you, you got massive balls for all that shit. And it was pretty much they were pretty much like thankful for what I was doing. Another thing that was also amazing was when people would actually use their brain and like stop and talk about some stuff. Like for example, I had like a comment that was like one of the best comments. Like I had also other people which we talked about some more stuff. But the best thing was I was told like if I saw you in the street, I would just cross the road so my kids don't have to look at you. So I just asked him, okay, so do tell me this. What happens if one day your kids actually grow up, they decide they want to be like trans, they would decide to be like cross dressers, they decide they want to be gay or bisexual or anything like that. We just asked him that, and he was like, damn, I never actually thought about that. It makes you think. So we started like talking, and at some point he was like, it does make sense, and he did apologize for his impulsive reaction. So some people actually did apologize for their impulsive reaction. Some on stream, some on whispers in Twitch, and more or less people actually started thinking like like just dressing in a specific way doesn't really make you gay. So yeah, that was pretty much like all of the experiment and the results and all that. So yeah. So so yeah, like I said, it's been it's been a really interesting week. I had fun, I'll tell you that. I definitely had fun. I was going right on Discord yesterday when you asked. Yeah, kinda you did. Gosh, Unreal, you something else. So you're confused. You finally come out of the closet. It was absolutely hysterical. Had a grin when I was watching the chat. I had a great experience. Never thought would see the day, let alone a week. Girls would dress up like a girl. Yeah, I was hit on like restaurant for a couple of drag queens, and yeah, it scared my ass. Rip, they ganked on you, huh? You can't say what I would to do them on stream, sir. Understandable. Just to back off. I'm glad you had fun. Yeah, definitely, dude. Definitely. Um, I basically had a shitload of fun. So yeah, it was definitely a fucking absolute amazing week. Now let's talk about one other topic. Eh, No, Major, we're not talking about that. As I told you, I do not wish to talk about that. Like I told you, I'm not gonna speak about that, and please don't talk about it because I'll have to like purge your messages. It doesn't matter what people say. You do what you do. You're back, dog. Right, Zach? Yeah, yeah, exactly, dude. Okay, so now let's go to confession time. Now, what I wanted to confess is some of you actually know this. Some of you know it. I can't really like went out there and like talked about it with a lot of people. Like all right. So basically, I'll start with this. First of all, some of you know that I've been like through 2 comas. I've been through 2 comas, and it's been pretty shit. I'll tell you that. I don't remember when I was like 3 years old, but Okay, so I guess I'll give a little backstory. When I was 3 years old, I was with my mother, her cousin, and her cousin's boyfriend at the seaside on a vacation. So at some point, my mother like woke up. I was like on the same bed as her, and she felt like something wet. So she pretty much like put her hand on me, and I was like stiff as a board. So during that time, like she just stood up, put the lights on, and she saw my eyeballs. Like you could just see the white in my eyeballs. So pretty much like she panicked, she screamed, and long story short, they drove to the nearest hospital, which was one of the big cities in in Bulgaria called Burgas. So they went to Burgas, and pretty much the doctors there, after a few hours, they pretty much told her like, we did what we could. So basically from now on he's like in God's hands, but basically don't take don't like have huge hopes of him surviving. Well, I did survive. Um, yo, Portal, yo, welcome to the stream. How was the social experiment? It was pretty great. I'll sum it up like after the confession. I did go through the social experiment, and yeah, I'll just sum it up like after this, like after the confession. So I did survive, anyways. No one knew what actually happened. Like no one was aware of why all this happened. So yeah, long story short, I'll just say like unlocking. So basically after the coma, I unlocked diabetes. So basically, I've been diabetic for soon. It will be like 23 years since I've been diabetic. So after that happened, like a couple of years later, when I was 18, Um, I did I did have like a surgery on my back. Some of you might have actually noticed when I was like doing those dances and all that shit. But basically like over here, like all of the skin and my meat is like not actually fully recovered, and that was like when I was 18. So it looked like kind of like a cross, to be honest. But anyways, some bug bit me, uh, so got infected. I didn't think it would get infected since it was like in fucking February. It was cold as fuck. So anyways, some big bug bit me, nothing major, like it just had like a lot of pus. So I had to go to the hospital, like a quick surgery, a 15-minute surgery. So we talked about like the anesthesia. I never wanted like one of those anesthesias where you're awake and you can feel everything. So we argued about that, and I told him I want full anesthesia since before that I've had like eight other surgeries about different kinds of shit. But that's another story. Anyways, I got there. It was like a 15-minute surgery. They gave me full anesthesia. Woke up at some point. Everything was okay. Doctor was a complete asshole. I'll tell you this, like basically when it comes to Bulgaria, give me one. Sorry about that. So basically when it comes to Bulgaria, I'll tell you this. I don't wanna bash women doctors, but like in Bulgaria, I've never heard of a woman doctor. We only have like 100 women doctor by like surgeons actually. Um, but in Bulgaria, like if you have to be in Bulgaria and have to like do something, like surgery or something like that, make sure you don't actually get a female surgeon. I've never heard of a case where a female surgeon performed something and it didn't go wrong after that. So I thought it was like like people were just having dumbass assumptions and all that stuff. So no, it did went wrong. So basically, she never actually bothered because of the insulin and the thing in the anesthesia. Like if they don't clean my blood after the anesthesia with some banks of shit, it basically becomes like it mixes with my blood and it actually starts like going to my heart. And there are like some other things that I don't even know the expression, like I don't even know the words in Bulgarian. I forgot them. So in English it's even impossible for me to remember. But basically it's like imagine this. It basically like two liquids, anesthesia and something else, like mix into your blood because of the diabetes. And that mixture actually is like so dangerous. It's like taking 100 uh it's like taking 100 adrenaline shots at the same time and just injecting them into yourself. Uh, not exactly, Timothy. And also, yo, potato tops. Who is this? What happened to my wife? She's cosplaying right now, some weird ass dude. Um, so yeah, or something like that. I don't know exactly, but basically my heart was beating super fast, like around like 12 a.m. from around 11, 12, well, 12, 11 p.m., 12 a.m. around there for 2 hours and a half. I couldn't fall asleep because like my heart was just gonna explode. That's how fast it was beating. I'm like, what the fuck's happening? You know, I'm a young person. Like this shouldn't be happening, especially when I'm lying on a freaking bed. You know, I'm not doing anything. So, long story short, nurses were called. They probably didn't take me seriously. They gave me some pills. I fall asleep. I woke up at one point and I actually see my mother next to my bed, like with her head like on the bed, and she's like sleeping or something like that. I'm like waking up and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? So she's like, how are you? How are you doing? Like, is everything okay? And she's like asking me all these questions, like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, yo, why are you here? What's the time? And she's like, you don't remember, do you? I'm like, no, what? And she's like, what day do you think it is? I'm like, oh, yesterday was February, I think it was 18th. Well, it was Friday basically. So today should be Saturday. Um, and she said, no, it's actually Sunday. I'm like, shit, I slept for a day and a half. The first I thought it was only like, I asked her for the time. So she was like 1:30. I'm like, oh my God, I slept for a half a day. And she's like asking me that about the day. And I'm like, what the fuck? How did I sleep for a day and a half? So she tells me you didn't sleep. You are actually in a coma. So I was like, wait, what? She's like, yeah. I'm like, what? So you can't believe it, right? The doctor comes in actually at that point, and I've been moved to a completely different wing, like not the one that I was originally in. I was in I was in a room filled with old people who had like a few hours left, maybe a day, at best like a week, and they were there to ease their pain pretty much. Like they were dying, they were dying, like in front of my eyes, like 5 people died, like elderly people, like they literally passed away. Like they were talking all of a sudden, nothing, no sound, nothing. So basically, I was put again in the freaking room where I was pretty much like fucked. Uh, intensive care. I'm guessing to a normal room. Um, okay. Well, basically, my mother heard the same thing she heard like when I was 3, and that's like there's a 15 years gap between the whole thing. 15 years gap, and she says she hears the same thing in a different country. Actually, I live in the capital, like Sofia, so it's away from Burgas, like 400 kilometers away. We did what we could. From now on, he's like in God's hands, so basically don't give him big hopes for his survival. That's why they moved me there, because they thought I would be dead. um So yeah, 15 years apart, she hears the same fucking shit from 2 different doctors, 2 different cities, 2 different hospitals. But anyways, like when the doctor came, I was like, wait, doc, like, all right, was I seriously in a coma? He's like, yeah, and you barely survived. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, wait, you gotta be shitting me. God had a different plan, brother. Definitely, dude. It seems like it. It definitely seems like it. It definitely was not my time. And here's the thing, by the way. So basically, I talked to him. I thought it was like I thought it was a dream what I saw, because I thought it was all a dream. So basically, I was like in this completely white room. There's like no such white that I can actually describe it. Like something like, oh, look at this white. This is how white it was. No, it was way different. Um, Completely white room. There was only one simple wooden door, which was like brown. That was it. It was like super white, super mega white. It was like it was fucked. Like it was fucked light. Like it was so white. I don't know. Anyways, I sit there, I have absolutely no emotions, no breathing, no heartbeat, no emotions, no happiness, no sadness, no feels, anything. Absolutely everything is gone. Nothing. So I just sit there, I'm just looking around like nothing, and I just wait. I wait and wait and wait and wait. And at some point, I start like running, but I run so fast that there's like I can't really even. I'm pretty sure like it was like faster than even Usain Bolt, to be honest. Like it was pretty much like faster than probably the fastest animal on earth. I was like running like a madman, and I wasn't getting tired. I wasn't breathing. I wasn't doing absolutely anything. But the room was actually pulling away. Was pulling more and more and more and more and more and more. And chaos on drugs, yeah. It was like pulling more to the point where it actually started like getting dark, like more and more dark. And at some point, the room was like nothing more but a white um but a white but a white dot. And at some point, it completely actually went to shit. It was absolutely black, and I couldn't see anything. All I could actually do is like I heard in my like in the darkness my voice saying like 3, 2, 1, 0. There was like a like this sound like an ultrasound, like basically like that was it. That was it. That's when I woke up actually. That was when I woke up. And I told that to the doctor and he's like, "Can you stand?" I'm like, "Yeah." So he kind of helped me because I was like tired. Um so we went to a room with patients that actually came into a coma, you know, not being not like a doctor actually getting them into a coma like they did with me, but basically people that came into a coma. And I started like talking to these people like they're absolutely different people, like I've never seen them, I've never met them. First time I fucking see these people, and they pretty much like 90% of them told me the same fucking shit, and 10% of them told me the same shit, but either saw like objects or dead relatives or heard the voices of dead relatives. And the doctor pretty much told me, like, I know this might sound crazy to you, but what you what you saw wasn't actually a dream. It's basically you being in that room, and we call it the waiting room between life and death. If that door opened and you pass through it, you would pretty much be dead. So I'm like saying that, like, wait, what? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what? I can't believe him. Like, it's pretty much a doctor telling you this. Like, wait, what? And I mean, you woke up like 5 minutes ago out of the coma, and you're like looking at him like, what the fuck? So basically, this is what he explained to me. That basically, this room that I've been there, like, it's pretty much like the waiting room between life and death. So, yeah. So basically, why I said all of this is like the first time after the first coma when I unlocked the diabetes. Like here it was like I don't know. It sounds like really silly when I say like unlock, because it's not really something like a character. Like, yo, you just unlocked a new character.
It doesn't run in your family.
What, sorry?
It doesn't run in your family. Nobody in your family
No,
has it.
no, no one in my family, no one in my
Yeah, same,
family actually has that.
same. Yep.
So yeah, so basically yo, Mike D, finally you look like a normal kid. I've always been normal, dude. But yeah, basically like the whole thing why I said this is like because after this, like it took me some time to actually recover from the whole thing, from the whole coma. Um, so uh, so it was like kind of shocking. Like they asked me if I need a therapist. I always said no. I didn't want a therapist near death experience. Yeah, something like that. Like I just mess around now, and I'm like, I'm like the cats with 9 lives. I already blew 2 of them. So after that, like I just needed like some time to actually process some things, and it kind of like made me think about a lot of things which I've never actually thought about. It was let's say like eye opening. Basically, you just sit there I was like going to school back then. I wanted to school all like a week off like from school. They were like, of course. And I was sitting there like in my room, basically on that bed, and I've been like watching the ceiling. I've been watching the door and all that. So that is sure I'm going. These things is really opening your eyes, definitely, dude. So basically, I'll get to the point like why what I unlocked like the second time. So it made you think about a lot of things. It made you like questions that never really popped into my head before, like started popping all of a sudden, like pop, 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 and started like starting thinking about those. Like there were like so many questions, like I don't even remember all of them. I'll tell you that. But it took some time. It took some time. It took me like 2 or 3 months to fully recover. Although like I was smiling, laughing, all that shit, like my brain was fucked. It was definitely fucked. It was like beyond fucking repairable. Like it was, I would just sit there and space out, zone out, thinking about the worst fucking shit ever. But the thing is, what it actually unlocked was what do you bleed from? Yes, I bleed from the asshole, dude. I use tampons, definitely. So basically, it was I actually started liking women's stuff, like clothes and shoes and all that shit. So yeah, I started like experimenting with them. After some time, I was like scared, I was nervous. So yeah, long story short, basically, I do like to cross dress at this point. I haven't really told many people about it, and with years that pass, like more and more, I've told like more people, but I've never like really went on a like so open confession about it. Like I don't do it on a daily basis, but sometimes I have like 2 to 4 days, 2 to 4 days in a month. Sometimes like I don't really even want to do it every month. It's basically like it really depends. Like it's basically on the mood and all that shit. And no, that does not make me gay, by the way. I still like only women. So yeah, but I do like their clothes as well and shoes. I do it from time to time. It's like in a private. It's basically like at my home. I don't actually go out looking like that. I just enjoy it. So yeah, I said like some people knew. At first only two people two people knew. Um, so it was two people. After that, it grew a little bit. With it's it's just in time. It actually grew to a point, and this at this moment, I was like, you know what, fuck it. Why fucking hide it? I mean, it's not like I need to hide it. I mean, like, fuck it, dude. I mean, I'm enjoying life, and as I said, like, as long as you enjoy life, you don't harm yourself, you don't harm other people. Fucking do whatever makes you happy. So